Hey guys, welcome back to my number explanation 0 through 9 of numerology, angel numbers, and the tarot. Okay, so two, too legit, too legit to quit. I have no idea why, but the second I wrote down two to start writing my notes out, that was the first thing that popped into my head. But that's okay, because now you've heard two. In case you needed a little balance in your life today. Okay, so in numerology, you'll find a very common theme with the number two across all three of the different numbers. Anyway, okay, so for the two in numerology, we are looking at balance, partnership, which, if you have partnership, you need balance, right? Cooperation and diplomacy. And you definitely need balance for diplomacy and cooperation, right? You don't want to be the only one doing all of the work in a cooperative relationship. Otherwise, you're just doing all the work, and one is the loneliest number. In angel numbers, it is all about trust, believing in divine timing, which is part of trust, and balance, and making and building connections. Again, having that balance in that relationship. You don't want to build a connection with someone who's going to take, while you just give, right? Okay, and in the Tarot, the Major Arcana, again, this is the Heaven and Earth Tarot by Jack Sephiroth and Jamie Alford. I keep forgetting her name. Okay, we have the High Priestess. Okay, look, she looks exactly like the divine counterpart of the Magician. Like, these two belong together. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the High Priestess has intuition and higher wisdom. Okay, now if you know anything about the High Priestess card, you know that you have to have a balance of, you can see she's standing or sitting between the dark pillar and the light pillar, so she has that balance between the two. She knows how to dip down into that darkness and come back into the light. That's how she has that inner wisdom, because you cannot have wisdom if you do not understand both the darkness and the light, right? So in that, in of itself, she has balance. Also, when you are looking at the High Priestess, there's also a bit of mystery there, which is pretty, okay, how do I explain this? It is necessary for someone who holds that inner wisdom to know that it is necessary to sometimes have that mystery, because if the right wisdom gets to the wrong person, that person may try to use that wisdom to manipulate others, right? So the High Priestess knows that balance. She knows when to share that wisdom and when to keep that wisdom. Okay, so we see a very common theme in here with balance and trust, because you have to trust your inner wisdom in order to be able to utilize and or trust that you know when the divine wants you to share that wisdom and when the divine wants you to keep that wisdom to yourself. So balance and harmony. Oh, I was also going to mention in the cups, the pentacles, the wands, and the swords. Okay, so you see the same kind of message across the board. The Two of Swords being peace, like protecting that inner wisdom, because Two of Swords is across the chest, okay? And the inner wisdom sits in the soul, right? The Two of Pentacles is about balance. The Two of Cups is about building connections, usually love. But you have to have trust and balance in a loving relationship. And then the Two of Wands, is very interesting. I like to look at it as trusting the intuition, trusting the inner wisdom, because it's all about making a plan. In this particular deck, the key word is dominion. So when you have dominion, that means that you are the master of your own reality. So trusting that inner intuition that you are making the right choice. Okay. So the twos are balance, harmony, connections, and inner wisdom. Hope this helps.